I made a small improvement to my AI and it's going to save me a bunch of time.
It's calling me like the rainbow. It's calling me like the rainbow. The rainbow.
Okay, there's lots of trash. I'm reporting it daily so it's getting cleaned up. I'm covering more and more area every day, and I cover an entire neighborhood of the Bayview and the entire neighborhood of the Mission District every day now. And I'm generating a lot of imagery, over 3,000 images a day. From that, I report around 50 piles of garbage every day. The amount of work I was having to do was starting to increase more and more every day because my model wasn't great. So I spent some time a few nights ago improving my model, and I was able to improve the performance of my model dramatically. Very low performance, honestly. It was performing very poorly to a fairly decent performance. What does performance mean when it comes to a machine vision model? The performance is composed of two parts. And together, those two parts have a score that's called an F1 score. The two parts of an F1 score are precision and recall. And so my model up until a few days ago had an F1 score, and this is kind of embarrassing, of around 0.5. And that meant that it was doing about 50% of the time it was precise, meaning that it got the exact bounding box of the trash. When it was drawing a bounding box around trash, it was doing a pretty good job. It wouldn't always locate the bounding box around the entire trash pile. Maybe it would get the bounding box a little bit wrong and only get part of the trash pile, or get a little bit of extra stuff that wasn't actually part of the trash pile, which was workable. So even though it wasn't incredibly precise, it was good enough on precision. Recall was the ability to find all of the garbage piles, and it was sitting at around 50%. That being said, my data set at that point included a lot of different variations of garbage piles, and so if it didn't get all of them, some of them might not be as important as others. Things like, tires. I had a few images that have abandoned tires. Well, you only see that maybe once every month. On the other hand, you see piles of garbage bags every day, and you see piles of loose trash every day. And if I simply focus on the garbage piles and loose trash metric, I might get a totally different precision and recall. I haven't actually measured that yet. But what I did do a few nights ago is I pulled almost an all-nighter. I stayed up till 4 a.m, and I simplified my data set. I tried to remove anything that didn't fit into one of my bigger categories of trash piles, and that are things like bags of garbage and loose piles of garbage, furniture, and mattresses. Those are the main things I see out there. So simply doing that, which took me several hours, and then retraining my model on that data set, yielded an increase in my precision from around 50%, around 0.5, to around 0.75. So now I have a model that has a precision of 0.75. What that means is that it's much better at detecting the bounding boxes of a trash pile. It's getting fewer false positives as well. My recall, however, did not go up significantly. And I think that has to do with some of the variations I have in trash piles. And it may actually be illusory in a way. It may not actually really tell you how well the model performs for my use case, because even though it's not detecting all of the garbage piles in an image, it may be detecting enough of the garbage piles in an image. There are times when there are multiple garbage piles in a single image that are close together. And the AI has a choice sort of between choosing multiple small garbage piles and a single large garbage pile, or detecting one part of a garbage pile versus all of the garbage pile. Any of those results would work for me. If it detects all of the garbage piles independently, or all of them as one single garbage pile, or only detects one part of a larger garbage pile, that all works for me because I can still report that. And it will still cause DPW to go out or Recology to go out and clean up those piles. Obviously, the better I get at detecting the piles, the more information I can provide, the more accurate my reports are. So a improved recall might actually yield better results in the long term, but what I have now is actually workable. So there you have it. A model improvement that increases my precision and maintains the same level of recall is a pretty significant time saver for me. It's a pretty significant performance improvement because now I have to spend less time hunting through false positives, and more of the images I'm seeing that I want to report, 2311 images of garbage, are actually precise. They're the things I want to report, and that's a good thing. It saves me time every day. I haven't calculated exactly how much time it saves me, but just thinking off the top of my head right now, I think it probably saves me 20 to 30 minutes a day. That's because currently I'm doing 2 to 3 flights a day, and each flight takes me about 30 minutes to report all of the garbage. And with this time saving, I'm trimming that down to like 15 to 20 minutes per flight. Thanks for checking in on me. I'm having a blast doing this. I'm learning a ton, and the software is always improving, as well as the business. Thank you to all my supporters, and thank you to everyone who cares about this issue. Until next time.